All right, today we're going to do a lot with this topper. We're going to show you measurements of the inside, the outside. I'm going to tell you the 5 things I really like about it, and I can only find 2 things that I really wasn't happy with and I didn't like, and I'll tell you that as well. I do have my AC hooked up. I'm going to be working inside there today, so I'll show you how that sets up also. So let's get into it. So I've got this AC inlet or diesel heater port inlet. I got this from 603D Printing, and I did a short video on this. You can check that out if you're interested. But this is so cool. I mean, it's got a flap to close it. It's got a magnetic attachment that goes on the end of the hose. So all you do is line up the 2 round grooves on top. So if I wanted to put my electrical through here, I could. I haven't drilled those holes out yet because I haven't needed it for the heater. But yeah, so this just line it up there, and it's magnetic, so it sticks on and makes a nice tight fit, which is great because you want to keep that heat or air going in and not outside of the topper. I'll show you what that looks like inside. Now, I really don't use this AC unless I'm at a park or somewhere, a campground that has electric. I do have an EcoFlow that I would use inside. In that case, I would vent the hot air out through this with a different size adapter. So I did unlatch the front on the other side. I do have this tailgate handle so I can close. I'll show you that later also. But you want to close this up so you can unlatch the top. I use these pins for safety so it doesn't open up on me. I like this solar wire. This goes from the solar panel, and it's like a bungee almost to where a slinky, you know, how it collapses with a spring. So once you lift that up, now you go inside, and then I'll move the camera back so you can see that. And this is one of my dislikes about this topper, and this is no fault of Qian, but I wish I would have got the barn doors, because every time you want to open or access the top, you got to open or close this hatch. Barn doors, you can just open those sideways. It's so much better. All right, so with this panel back, like you see here, you can access the middle, and what you have to do is you have to get in between there. That's why I have this towards the back and the other one towards the front, and you push out on the sides, and then there's a little latch that locks it in the open position so it doesn't collapse on you. I'll show you that in a second. It really couldn't be any easier to open and close. I mean, the setup of this is one of the things I really like. So I'll get into the likes now. I have 5 things I really like about it, besides, you know, all the hard features and everything you have here. I'll get into some things that were stand out besides the things you see just with it open. One thing is how easy it was to assemble. It was on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it was maybe 6, with 10 being the hardest. Only because I was doing it by myself. I tried to do it solo. If you had a helper, it'd probably be even easier. And along with that is how easy it is to set up. All right, so I mean, you saw how quick and easy that was. I really like that about it. Breaking down, same thing. So now to move this panel, you know, to have it set up in full sleeping platform, and I'll measure that. You only have about this much space in between. So I'll measure that for you also. But if you didn't want to have this set up, you know, width-wise, it's not wide enough for me to sleep width-wise. I did sleep with it doubled up on an angle. Again, I'll show you all those measurements, but having the wider model, this is where it might be a better option for sleeping width-wise. But to sleep north-south like this, you got a pretty big bed. But let me show you how easy it is to push it in. All you do, it just bounces up, push that back. Now you have all this space open. Back to the likes and dislikes. The first thing I said I disliked was the fact that I didn't get the barn doors. That was all my fault. I should have ordered them with that. But the second thing, you know, that could have been a little bit better on Qian's side is each corner there is a gap and you can see light through right there where I'm pointing. Now, that's going to be an easy fix. I'm going to put some of the weather sealant there, and it's not that bad. This side you can barely see any light. The front, you can see a little bit in that corner and more in that corner. Now, this could have been easily fixed by having the weather strip that's on the outside go down a little bit further. But again, like I said, I can easily fix that. I think for the price you pay for these, you got to expect that you're going to have to do a few things, minor things, hopefully. Overall, I have not had any major issues with the topper and canopy assembly itself. Fairly easy to do. Now, again, look at all this space. You can see, by the way, you can see the air conditioner coming in there. That cool air blowing in feels nice, especially once I close this back up. But you can see all the space in here. I covered already the two things I didn't like. Let me go to the top 5 things I like real quick. One is you can see you have all this space below. It's like a wire chase all the way around, so you can run your wires through. I'm going to put some electrical in there. Easily done when you have that option there to do that. Another thing I really liked about this, I said, was the hard sides. The third thing was how easy it was to assemble, and how it, along with the assembly, you know, putting this thing together, along with that is how easy it is to set up camp and break it down. It makes it so nice when you have these hard sides and it's just lock these latches in place. Let me show you on this side where the sun's not blaring in. But this is all you do. It's a little turn latch that closes it, and then when you want to break this down, you pull these handles down inside with you, and that closes it. That's how easy it is to set up. That's the third thing I really liked about it, was the ease of setup and breakdown. The fourth thing is, or are, because there's 3 of them, the molly panels. I mean, look at all that, and I talked about this in another video, all that space where you can attach things and easily take them off. There's one on that side, one on this outside door, and then one on the tailgate window. And the last thing, the 5th thing, are the built-in lights. Let me see if I can get those turned on to show you. So I don't have my electrical set up yet. You'll have to subscribe and follow along. By the way, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. But subscribe so you can see how we set this up. I have benches I'm going to put in, electrical. So I just have this hooked up to a light with a battery pack on it now, but so convenient to just hit this button and turn on your lights. Now, one of the cool things is if you use the code Tractor to Trail when you order yours, you'll get some lights on this bottom section, which I didn't get with mine. I wish I would have. I will be installing some soon whenever I install the rest of my electrical. I do have my old, but look how nice those LED light strips are. I do have my old battery set up in here. I will be taking this out and installing a new one, but I just put that in for a few times I went out to camp. I went to camp in this a couple times to make sure I was educated enough to talk about it. So before I get into the measurements, I just wanted to say the solar system that they sent with this, the wiring, everything works great. Like I said, I have it set up to my temporary battery. I will be installing a new, I have a slim battery. It's going to go on the side where the kitchen would be, right back in there. I can't wait to do that and show you that. But solar's been working out great. Charging, everything's been good. What I need to do, but let me tell you first how I got this to fit. And I put the weather stripping on the truck bed, but what I did was I did a test fit, and you can see that in one of the other videos. And I taped it with painter's tape, and then I spray painted. You can still see a little bit of white paint in there. So I spray painted where it was going to fit, so I knew where to put my weather stripping and marked it pretty good. And then that way I had a good idea when I went to put this on As long as I put it on the weather stripping and lined up where that paint was, it would all fit the way it's supposed to. Look how cool this looks when it's set up. Really happy with the exterior. Like I said, the hard sides. The windows are a great option to be able to open those up, get some light and air in. Let's open this side hatch so you can see what that looks like. This is where the drop down kitchen would be. I did take the drop down out because it's pretty high up. I'm not going to use it anyways. I'm going to mount my slim battery in here. All right, so the exterior width in the back and the front is the same or very close to it. Is about 69.5, just a little bit under that. Let's go from front to back and see what that is. We're at about 77.25. This bed is, let's check the width of it. (5'5". Now I have this doubled. It's a 2-inch sleeping pad. When you double it, it's now a 4-inch sleeping pad. I tried to sleep east to west. It was it's not big enough for me to sleep east to west. This is where the wider topper option would come in handy if you do want to sleep east west. I did sleep on a diagonal to make it work to see how it was. That way I had a 4-inch pad. I do have the X pad here if I need it. I didn't need it. The 4-inch pad was nice to sleep on, tight because it was diagonal. But I mean, I was by myself. I made it work. So let's measure that and see what that is. All right, so diagonally you have 6 foot 6 inches, a lot more space that way. Now let's pull this out and see how long the bed is. By the way, with a 4-inch pad, what was it? We were at 3 foot 9 inches wide, so 45, a little bit over 45 inches width-wise, with it doubled up. So that's a pretty good size width to sleep if you had more for you to extend out all the way. All right, let's pull this out and see what the size is pulled out. I can't wait to get that Banshee slim battery set up in here and get all my wiring done. Again, everything's super easy to use here. Pull this out, pull the mattress out. Now this gives you a huge bed. Let's see what the length is here. If you're sleeping north-south, 89 inches, 7 foot 5 inches. Big difference. So there's 2 people in here, even 2 people and a kid. You're going to have plenty of room to a small kid to sleep up there. Now, when I do have my benches in here, I'll have a piece that'll extend out so I can sleep on the bottom. And my wife and kids, or my wife and I could sleep down here, and somebody or 2 people can sleep up top. So it gives you a lot of options. Man, I gotta tell you, this cold air blowing in here is amazing. The summertime humidity, brutal right now. By the way, when I did my test fit, I was talking about doing a test fit before I put this on. I just put this canopy portion on without the top because it's so light and easy to move around, and then I traced it with a Sharpie, then I taped it, then I spray painted it. That's how it made it so easy. Again, you can see the white paint there. That's how I made it so easy, a little bit of white paint left, to line this up with your weather stripping and then to put the topper on in place. All right, let's break this down and show you how easily it is to break it down. You do have to pull this bed back. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but it makes it easier to get this out of the way. Just unlock each side. I'm going to tuck the electrical in so I don't pull that or rip that out for the lights. All you do, pull this down. That's it. Closed up. Let's do a walk around and show you what it looks like. Closed up. Need to latch it, obviously, but everybody knows how to do that. You see that solar wire pulls right back up. I did put some loops to run the wire through, so in case anything caught it, helps give it a little bit of support with those rings. That's it. Set up, breakdown. Super easy. So I got a couple things I need to work on. One is weather stripping under this tailgate window, so when I close the hatch I can open it from the inside instead of catching the weather strip like I have it now. But this is how easy it is to open. You push this button, that unlatches it. Push the button on this side, opens up the door. Now to close my tailgate, just put this little handle on here. Easy fix. No more lights coming through. That'll work. Took about 3 minutes. So to wrap up this video, just wanted to mention this does fit in an 8-foot garage opening for anyone interested. I don't know if it would fit with the fan on the top, but it does fit with the solar and the wiring. Also, I did elect and I asked them to make this in the straight up vertical sides. I mentioned earlier in the video that you can't really sleep east-west in this. It's not really long enough. It's like a little bit too short for that width-wise, but I'm happy I went with this one. And the reason is I don't know that I would want the aerodynamics of having more sticking out the side than it already does. When you look down the side of the truck, it already sticks pretty far off, you know, past the doors. On the top part, you know, the bottom part is pretty much even. But I'm pretty glad with what I got there as far as aerodynamics go. Yeah, that wraps this up. Let me know if you have any questions.